Oh,
So-
can you guys hear me okay?
Yep,
Yeah,
yep.
it's perfect.
So I take it Ezra's is not going to join us for this
Really
episode, is he?
not. No.
I guess not.
Ugh, what a loser.
Ugh. I know.
suppose-
If he's
what?
getting laid right now, that's okay. But if that's not happening,
That is
then it's
that
not
is not the
excusable.
case, and you know it.
That is definitely not the case.
This is true. This is true.
It's annoying. I've made like 2 slides just for Ezra and Dennis, and neither of them can be here for this episode. So, screw them.
Yeah, it's their loss.
That is.
They have to listen to it now.
Yep.
I mean, I don't
This
know
one's for them.
if you don't listen to the episodes after we post them, are you really a podcast member?
Yeah, it's
Exactly.
true.
Until you hear your own voice and turn it off.
Yeah, I've had to listen to myself way too often. I still don't like
Yeah,
the
I feel
sound of my
bad for
voice.
you.
I'm about to say you edit it, so I could understand if you were like, "Fuck it, I'm not listening to that." Definitely, because you listen to it fucking multiple times.
Each time I edit an episode, I hear it about 3 times. So,
Oh,
yeah.
Jesus, you poor bastard.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But whilst we talk about the podcast, let's just start this. Welcome to the Micro Machines podcast. Unfortunately, Dennis couldn't make it to this episode, so me, Callum, will be hosting this episode. And with us, Ezra couldn't make it, but we've got 2 others joining us for this episode. Let's know who it is.
Let's know. It's Jack here. I'm on the podcast pretty often. And I've got some water with me. That's all. Just water.
All right, well, it's your old buddy Greg, or Garrison. Garrison's my first name. No longer in Southern California, now in the old Midwest of
Oh
Wichita,
yeah, congrats
Kansas.
by the way.
Yeah.
Thank
I was going to say,
Thank
first
you.
podcast, first time you can say I'm no longer in SoCal.
Yes, no longer in SoCal. Finally in the
It's refreshing.
Midwest. It is, except for the fact that my entire family is sick, so that's fun.
Oh, so you can't enjoy the non-smoggy air.
I mean, no, we're definitely enjoying it. Don't get me wrong, but holy fuck. But we'll get on to Kansas later. I'm drinking a Powerade Zero Sugar Grape Sports Drink, and I am also normally on the podcast.
Hobby fuel.
Hobby fuel.
And you've got me, Callum, who is hosting it. I am drinking my regulation strong as fuck black coffee because it's the only thing that keeps me going through a day.
Yeah.
And I'm down in New Zealand.
If I had to record in the mornings, I'd be chugging that coffee down.
You know the bad thing is?
What?
It's like 2:30 in the afternoon.
I was about
yeah,
to
I
say, bro,
forgot.
like most episodes we record, I'm drinking coffee, and it was at like 7, 8 o'clock at night then.
Yeah.
Yeah.
All right. Shall we get this shit started?
Go for it, bro. It's your episode.
Yeah.
So today I thought I'd talk about the Grumman TBF Avenger, purely because this is one of my favorite aircraft. It is not my favorite. That belongs to the Mosquito. The Mosquito will always be my favorite aircraft, but the Avenger is a close second. Not sure why, I just love this aircraft a lot.
It's got a ball on it.
Oh,
Actually, the first time I came across the Avenger was when I was, I want to say 8, and I was given a model. I was given the 72nd Academy model for it, which I built it.
How are you still modeling?
That was when I was 10. I took a long, I was about 8, and I took a long break. Although, you guys rag on about the Academy like aircraft models, they're actually really good. Like they're better
I
than
don't
they
want to
should be.
believe it. I don't want to
okay,
believe
Ezra.
it. Yeah.
Anyway, so we'll talk about the actual Avenger first. So, first up, before we talk about the Avenger, we should probably talk about the aircraft that came before it. There was a reason the Avenger was created, and that is this: the Douglas TBD Devastator. Arguably, probably one of the worst aircraft used during the Second World War. Some people argue. There's others saying no, it was perfectly fine for its time. You know, it was one of those that got outclassed pretty quickly in the start of the war.
Man, it just looks so slow.
It was.
Like that, I feel like getting that thing off the ground was like the hardest thing you had to
Struggle.
do. Yeah.
Yeah.
Now, so the Devastator came before There was one before. I know it as it was the Vindicator. I think it was. There was an aircraft before it. I think the British called it the Vindicator. However, so the quick history on the Devastator. It first flew in 1935 and entered service in 37. At that point in 1937, it was the most advanced aircraft for the Navy, but this is 1937. However, because of the speed of aircraft development, by 1941, when the Japanese attacked Pearl Harbor, it was outdated. But we all know that the America was a little bit behind on all their aircraft development at the start of the war.
Man, they were behind on everything.
Yeah. So in early battles, the Devastator performed well, notably at the Battle of Coral Sea. However, then a notable battle turned up. Can we take a guess on which one?
Pearl Harbor.
After the Battle of Coral Sea.
Oh, after Midway.
Yes. Battle of Midway happened, in which 41 Devastators recorded 0 torpedo hits against carriers. Do you know how many of the 41 Devastators made it back to, I believe they were based off the USS Hornet?
I'm not
How
going to guess
many?
a lot.
6.
Oh no, how
Damn it.
devastating.
Yes. Out of 41 Devastators, only 6 returned. They were vastly outclassed in speed and maneuverability by the Mitsubishi Zero, so most of them were wiped out. The only things that actually helped in the Battle of Midway was mainly the SBD Dauntless SBD Dauntless Dive Bombers. Jesus.
You know what? Good for the aircraft there.
Yeah, so they sank 4 carriers and a heavy cruiser. So, the Devastator does get a slight pass on this. It was recorded that the Devastator's dismal performance was later attributed to the defects of the US Mark 13 torpedo. It wasn't a good torpedo. Actually, America did not make very good torpedoes at all. They also had the Mark 14 torpedoes used for aircraft and submarines, which has the only recorded self-kill. A Mark 14 was fired by a submarine, then it managed to go in a nice wide circle and destroy its own submarine. Believe it or not.
What the fuck?
Yes.
What kind of backwards ass janky? Oh my god.
Yeah. Another fact of the Mark 14, it wasn't a contact torpedo. It was supposed to go just underneath the hull and then have a magnet that set it off directly underneath a boat. The magnet was sometimes so sensitive, the magnetic force of Earth would set them off.
Oh Jesus fuck.
Yeah.
Oh, God.
they were not good torpedoes, and neither was the Mark 13 torpedo. Whereas, out of 41 that could have been fired at carriers, none of them actually did anything. So, yeah. So, after the Battle of Midway, where it was shown that the Devastator was just not useful anymore, the aircraft was withdrawn from frontline service and was replaced with the Avenger.
Yay.
I fuck with the color scheme.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Look at that.
I do like the blue. Now then, the first prototype, designed by Leroy Grumman, was called the XTBF-1. It first flew on 7th of August 1941. Now, the Avenger was the heaviest single-engine aircraft of World War II, and only the USAAF's P-47 Thunderbolt came close to equaling it in maximum load weight among single-engine fighters. I can attest, there is an Avenger in the museum close to me. It is massive. For a single engine, you wouldn't believe just how much it can carry, what fits, all of that. It is a big aircraft.
It looks
I
massive.
bet. I mean, look at the people
those
down there, dude.
People, yeah.
Yeah. The Thunderbolt was only lighter by 400 pounds than the TBF. Yeah. So, to ease carrier storage concerns, because, again, it's massive, as well as the F4F Wildcat and Hellcats and all that, Grumman designed the Avenger to also use the new what they call stow wing patented compound angle, as we can see on the top left photo there. Wing folding mechanism intended to maximize storage space on an aircraft carrier, which is much better than the Japanese. Have you seen the Japanese Zeros with their quote wing folding? It was literally about 2 foot of the tip of the wings folded up. That was about it. Whereas the Americans managed to develop it so they fold all the way back, and you could just fit a whole lot more. So, yeah. Now the engine used was a twin row Wright R2600-20 twin cyclone 14-cylinder radial, which produced 1900 horsepower, which is quite a bit actually.
Yeah.
Well, you'd need it. You got a single engine carrying all of that.
Bro, I was about to say, do you see how big that bitch is? You just talked about his payload.
Yeah. Yeah. Now, there was a crew of 3. You had the pilot, turret gunner, and probably the most overworked person in there, the radio man / bombardier / ventral gunner. I like how he gets 3 roles and the other 2 have just gone, yeah, we're just this.
It's like the Japanese commander on the jihad tanks.
Yeah.
He's multitasking.
Now, the early versions had a single synchronized 30 caliber machine gun mounted on the nose. A 50 cal was mounted next to the turret gunner's head in a rear-facing configuration, as we can see the bull turret on top. And there was a single 30 cal hand-fired machine gun in the ventral position. Later on, the 30 cal in the nose was replaced with 2 50 cals, the AN M2 50 cal in the wing, primarily because it was considered better for head-on attacks or strafing duties. The single 30 just wasn't really doing much.
Yeah, I'm about to say they got rid of those quite early on, didn't they?
Yeah, the very early versions had the 30 cal. Now, the rear gun was fired by the radio man bombardier while standing up and bending over the belly of the tail section. I've seen a cross section for it. It looks hilarious. It looks very uncomfortable as well.
Do you have a picture of it?
No, I forgot to add it in because I'm a dick.
Oh.
The one picture I wanted to see. God damn it, Callum.
Yeah, although usually he sat on a folding bench facing forward to operate the radio and to sight in on bomb runs.
Oh, great.
So he's
bench.
just like, he's doing the radio, he's doing the bombing, he's fighting off things. Bugger being that.
That's a hell of a resume.
Yeah.
If you made it back.
If you made it back.
Now, there was only one set of controls in the aircraft, and no direct access to the pilot's position existed from the rest of the aircraft's interior. The radio equipment was massive, especially by today's standards, and filled the length of the well-framed greenhouse canopy to the rear of the pilot. So that entire section between the where the pilot sits and the gunner, that's all radio.
Holy fuck.
Yep.
Oh, I mean, I kind of get it, because radios then are huge.
Yeah, back then they were. Plus, you'd have all the navigational equipment in there, since you are, spending a long amount of time over the Pacific Ocean where there's not a lot of land base. So, the radios were accessible for repair through a tunnel along the right-hand side. I would not want to be that.
A tunnel.
Yeah.
Imagine you gotta go in the tunnel, you're fixing shit, yada yada yada. Then the fucking homeboy pilot gets schwacked, and you've got your parachute, but you can't get out because you're going on a fucking nosedive.
Yeah.
And you're stuck.
Or just stuck in the tunnel.
Or the fact you can't get to the pilot's position from inside, so if he gets hit and everyone else is fine, you've got to climb out of the aircraft, up to the pilot's seat, pull him out, and possibly throw his dead body out into the slipstream, and then climb in. You can't access it from the interior, which is a bit of a design flaw, I guess,
No man left behind except for here.
Some James Bond engineering right there.
Yeah. Currently, Avengers that fly today usually have an additional rear-mounted seat in place of the radios, allowing for 4 passengers. For a 4th
how
passenger.
convenient.
Yes. So, the Avenger... Oops. That was dumb. I just clicked away from my notes.
You silly goose.
I'm
Why'd
having
you
a-
do that?
I'm having a day, aren't I?
We all are, man.
So the Avenger had a large bomb bay, allowing for one Bliss Levitt Mark 13 torpedo, which was basically useless, or a single 2,000-pound bomb, or up to 4 500-pound bombs. The aircraft had overall ruggedness and stability, and pilots say it flew like a truck, for better or worse. I mean,
That's not what I want my aircraft to fly like. Oh my! I mean, I guess as a bomber. No, I'm not even going to say that because a Corsair, you carried like 70% of the fucking bombs from fighter planes. So never mind. Ignore
yeah.
Oh shit! Sorry.
me. My ears are ringing.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So, with its good radio facilities, docile handling, and long range, the Grumman Avenger also made an ideal command aircraft for commanders. So that would be the Commander's Air Group, or CAGs. With a 30,000-foot ceiling and fully loaded range of 1,000 miles, that's actually pretty good.
Yeah, that actually is really good.
Yeah,
payload,
it
right?
was better than any previous American torpedo bomber. And better than its Japanese counterpart, the obsolete Nakajima B-5N Kate.
But
Now-
Callum, what about the Dauntless?
That's a dive bomber.
But
Which
the
was-
Dauntless.
And actually, the Dauntless was superseded by the Helldiver, which deserves a presentation on its own because it was absolutely diabolically useless, horrible. No one liked it for a lot of
But
reasons.
Callum. But Callum. I
Now-
agree. I fucking hate that plane.
Later Avenger models carried radio equipment for the ASW and AEW roles. Escort carrier sailors referred to the TBF as the Turkey because of its size and maneuverability in comparison to the
Turkey.
F4F Wildcats in the same air groups.
Oh yeah.
Oh,
Hey,
no.
get that fucking turkey.
The Wildcat and the Turkey.
Oh god.
Right, let's see. So, there was quite a few nations that used the TBF Avenger. Namely, one of them, the big one, the US Navy.
Oh.
That's a good nation.
Oh, definitely.
So, on the afternoon of December 7th, 1941, Grumman held a ceremony to open a new manufacturing plant and display the new TBF in the public. Can you guess what happened on that day as well?
Yeah, that's very convenient. It's almost like you knew something.
Yeah. So, 7th of December 1941, that was the day of Pearl Harbor. When Grumman found out after the ceremony was over, the plant was quickly sealed off to guard against possible sabotage. Suddenly it's, hey, we got this new aircraft. Oh, we're in a war. Just put it back.
We do not have any aircraft.
Yes, we don't have this brand new torpedo bomber. No. So, by early June 1942, a shipment of more than 100 aircraft was sent to the Navy, arriving only a few hours after the three carriers quickly departed from Pearl Harbor for them to participate in the Battle of Midway. So, Avengers didn't make it to the Battle of Midway. They could have, if they'd been a few hours earlier, but they weren't. It's kind of funny how pivotal things like that are just happen by just something going wrong, as being a bit late or something like that.
Like all the CEOs of the Twin Towers just showing up to work late when the towers got hit.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Or the guy that bought it just happened to his wife had made him go to an appointment she made instead of him going to work.
Weird.
Yes.
Capitalist America not missing work. When does that happen? Oh, when you set up a fucking. You know what? Never mind.
I feel bad for the CEO with the scheduling issue.
All right, we'll save that for another podcast.
MMP 9/11 episode? What the fuck?
Oh dear. Okay, so on 24th of August 1942, the next major naval aircraft carrier battle occurred in the Eastern Solomons. Based from the carriers the Saratoga and Enterprise, 24 TBFs were present and were able to sink the Japanese light carrier Ryujo and claimed one dive bomber at the cost of 7 aircraft.
But say, didn't they get absolutely raped though? Like
Yeah,
they got kicked out of Guadalcanal.
yeah. Now, the first major prize for the TBFs, which had been assigned name Avenger in October 1941, was at the Naval Battle of Guadalcanal in 1942, when Marine Corps and Navy Avengers helped sink the Japanese battleship, the Hai?
Hi.
Hiei.
Ah,
Whatever. Which had been crippled the night before. After hundreds of the original TBF-1 models were built, the TBF-1C began production. The allotment of space for specialized internal and wing-mounted fuel tanks doubled the Avenger's range. By 1943, Grumman began to slowly phase out production of the Avenger to produce the F-6F Hellcat. And the
Ew.
Eastern... Yo?
I said ew.
Well, there's nothing wrong
Hellcat
with the
sucks.
Hellcat.
Hellcat sucks.
Hellcat, best cat.
Hellcat can die like a cat.
die like a cat. They don't die. They've got 9 lives.
Yeah, and then they get shot down. But the Corsair has 11 lives, so suck it.
Oh,
So, after Grumman didn't produce the Avenger anymore, the Eastern Aircraft Division of General Motors took over production. After this, the TBF was now designated as the TBM. So this was located in I want to say it's Ewing, Ewing. So you guys pronounce that Ewing, eh?
The hell if I know, bro.
Uh,
Boeing.
so it's located in Ewing, New Jersey.
of course it's in New Jersey.
Yeah. So Grumman delivered a TBF-1 held together with sheet metal screws so the
Oh my
automotive
God.
engineers could disassemble it. I hope it wasn't flowing with the hat.
Probably was, for being honest. It's from New Jersey.
Yeah. So starting in mid-1944, the TBM-3 began production with a more powerful power plant and wing hardpoints for drop tanks and rockets. The Dash 3 was the most numerous of the Avengers, with about 4,600 produced. However, most of the Avengers in service were Dash 1s until near the end of the war in 1945. Besides the traditional surface role of torpedoing ships, Avengers claimed about 30 submarine kills, including the cargo submarine I-52. They were one of the most effective sub-killers in the Pacific Theater, as well as in the Atlantic, when escort carriers were finally available to escort Allied convoys. There, the Avengers contributed to the warding off of German U-boats whilst providing air cover for the convoys. After the Marianas Turkey shoot, in which more than 250 Japanese aircraft were downed, Admiral Mark Mitchell ordered a 220 aircraft mission to find the Japanese task force. Fighting 300 nautical miles away from the fleet at the extreme end of their range, the group of Hellcats, TBFs/TBMs, and dive bombers took many casualties. However, the Avengers from the Independence-class aircraft carrier, the USS Bellewood? Yeah, whatever. Sank the light carrier High. I suck at names. The light carrier Hio as their only major prize. Mitch's gamble did not pay off as well as he had hoped. So that was the US Navy using the Avengers. Who have we got next? The Royal Navy.
Royal Navy. What a
So
navy.
the Navy gave the Avenger a different name. The Royal Navy gave him. They didn't at the start call them Avengers. They were known as the Tarpon because the British like to name shit differently to everyone else.
I like the camo.
It looks a bit weird to me. I don't know. Like
I think it looks cool. It looks like almost concept arty.
Yeah, a little bit. So initially, the Royal Navy Fleet Air Arm called them the Tarpon. However, this name was discontinued, and the Avenger name was used instead as part of the process of the Fleet Air Arm universally adopting the U.S. Navy's names for American naval aircraft. I think mostly this is just so not to confuse everyone of aircraft they're using. Like what they call the what was the Wildcat? What did they call it? It was something stupid. It was like the Mantlet or something like that.
I don't know, but it was British, so it was probably stupid. You're right.
Yeah. So the first 402 aircraft were known as Avenger Mark 1. 334 TBM-1s from Grumman
Oh my
were called...
god.
What?
Who the hell just joined?
Ezra just joined.
There's no fucking way.
Oh my
What?
god.
It is.
Where the fuck have
We're
you
up on
been?
the Zencaster.
Where have you been?
You're on the Zencaster. Hey, okay.
Yeah, I kind of got busy. Hey,
What was her name?
I can't disclose that information yet.
Was it? Did that happen?
I plead the fifth. We'll see.
We gotta know, man.
Yeah, fill us in.
Don't worry.
Was it a Stug or an Archer? Just let us know. Stug or Archer?
Oh God. Long plug or short barrel?
No. Was it Stug? Yes. Archer? No.
Oh dear. Well,
All right.
glad
Well,
you
welcome. Yeah,
glad you
welcome
made
to
it.
the episode. Callum,
Thank
you want
you.
to fill them in real quick?
So we are talking about the Avenger. We've just discussed design and development, what came before it, specifications, and the US Navy. We are now talking about the Royal Navy and their Avengers. That's where we're up to.
All right.
Oh, Ezra, introduce
Yes.
yourself as if it's the start of the podcast.
Oh, hello. I'm Ezra. I am in New Mexico, and I have no drinks.
Oh, boring.
Bro,
What the hell?
Look at him fucking getting that shit out the way. Good on you, Ezra.
Didn't
Yeah,
even
thank
bring
you.
a drink.
No, I got like some water, but that's it.
Oh, well, I said water.
Yeah,
Okay.
right. Well, now that he's back, what was I saying?
Something about Britain.
Yep, found it. So the first 402 aircraft were known as the Avenger Mark 1. 334 TBM-1s from Grumman were called the Avenger Mark 2, and 334 TBM-3s were designated Mark 3. I've got a little interesting fact here. An interesting kill by a Royal Navy Avenger was the destruction of a V-1 flying bomb on 9th of July 1944.
What?
The much faster V-1 was overtaking the Avenger when the telegraphist air gunner in the dorsal turret, leading airman Fred Shermer, fired at it from 700 yards. That's a good aim.
That's
Yeah,
impressive.
that's pretty cool.
For this achievement, he was mentioned in dispatches, later being awarded the DSM, or Distinguished. Is it the Distinguished Service Medal? Is it the DSM for the 1945 Operation Meridian against the Operation Meridian action at Palembang?
I probably missed this, but they were firing at the V1 with 30 cals.
50s.
Okay.
Yeah, the turret in the dorsal has a single 50 cal.
All right.
Which seems weird. You look at the turret and it's got a 50 cal to the right. You'd expect them to have like two 50s with that amount of space. I don't know why they decided that.
Yeah, they held back with the 50s for once.
I mean, it's American. I would have expected like 450s in there.
Yeah, quad bolter.
We're slacking sometimes, like we are now. Sorry.
So, in January 1945, a British carrier raid on the Songiga. Oh, for fuck's sake! I got to stop picking things that got strange names. During Operation Meridian, a Fleet Air Arm Avenger shot down a Nakajima Ki-44 Tojo in low-level combat over the jungle. 3 Avengers were modified to carry the highball bouncing bomb, given the new code name, and they were given the new code name Tamini. Oh fuck.
Tamiya.
It's Tammany.
Timinia.
Tammany Hall? Whatever.
Tamiya.
However, the trials were unsuccessful and they were returned to their standard configuration and passed on to the Royal Navy. Does anyone know what the highball was?
It was a high ball.
Yeah.
So
Balls having dropped
I
it.
take it you guys all know about the bouncing bomb? Dam busters, all of that?
Yes, a little.
Somewhat.
Yeah. So the highball was basically a smaller version of that to be carried by, Avengers, mosquitoes, stuff like that. They were for smaller dams, refineries, stuff like that had obstacles where you couldn't use a standard torpedo. The highball was basically a cut down version of the bouncing bomb. It was in a ball shape, and what they did was it spun backwards at high speed. So when it released, it skipped along the surface into its target. It was basically, it was a small version of the bouncing bomb.
Damn, that's cool.
Yeah. So 100 USN TBM-3Es were supplied to the Fleet Air Arm in 1953 under the U.S. Mutual Defense Assistance Program. The aircraft were shipped from Norfolk, Virginia, many aboard the Royal Navy carrier, the HMS Perseus. The Avengers were fitted with British equipment by Scottish Aviation and delivered as the Avenger AS.4 to several FAA squadrons, including numbers 767, 814, 815, 820, and 824. The aircraft were later replaced in 1954 by Fairey Gannets and were passed to squadrons in the Royal Navy Reserve. However, when the Royal Navy Reserve was disbanded in 1957, these Air Avengers got transferred to the French Navy in 1957-1958. A lot of Avengers got bounced around to multiple people. Now, of course, I couldn't pass up the opportunity. So, the US and the British operated Avengers. There is only one other Air Force during the Second World War that used the Avengers, and that is New Zealand, my home country. Now, if you have a look at the photos, the one on the top left, that is the one that is in the museum close to me. It's been... so that's just been restored. Do you know what it used to be?
A fire bomber.
No. It used to be on a children's play park as a climbing frame type thing.
Oh, that's really cool.
Wow.
I know.
Isn't there a T-34 that's kind of the same thing over?
I'd say there's a lot that have just been used in like parks and stuff.
Yeah, probably.
Yeah. And I couldn't get a decent photo. Bottom left, that interesting camo scheme, that is black and yellow.
That's funky. What would that be used for?
I think that one's a training one. It was a training or test subject. Yeah. So the only other operator in World War II was the Royal New Zealand Air Force, which used the type primarily as a bomber, equipping number 30 and 31 squadrons, with both of them operating in the South Pacific Islands during 1944 in support of the Bougainville campaign. Some of the Avengers were later transferred to the British Pacific Fleet. Here's an interesting thing. In 1945, Avengers were involved in pioneering. For God's sake! I need another coffee. I've run out of coffee. I need another one. So, Avengers were involved in pioneering trials of aerial top dressing in New Zealand that led to the establishment of an industry which markedly increased food production and efficiency in farming worldwide. Pilots of the Royal New Zealand Air Force's number 42 Squadron spread fertilizer from Avengers besides runways at Okea Air Base and provided a demonstration for farmers at Hood Airdrome in Masterton.
Oh, that's cool.
Yeah.
Imagine being made to go kill people, and then your whole purpose is now to feed people.
Poison them.
Oh God!
Damn, veterans must hate their lives.
Yeah.
Yeah, they all
next,
do. Yeah.
Yeah. Up next, I've got a nice video I took of the Avenger in the top left photo. My dad and I happened to just go to the museum one day, and they had a bit of an event going. And one of them, they were showing just how the folding of the wings operated. They were all hydraulic. The early ones needed people to pull them out. These ones, they're just operated by themselves. And I thought I'll just show this little clip just because, why not?
Please do.
For audio listeners, sorry about this, but,
Go to YouTube.
Yeah.
Wait, are we getting actual footage? We're better than
Yeah.
Well, There's Your Problem.
Yeah. Yeah. So if you guys are watching it, you can see just how the wings fold and open. They've even got the bomb bay doors opening and closing.
That's really cool. They kept this one operational in that way to be
Yeah,
as a demonstration.
that's amazing. Wow.
Yeah. It was actually pretty cool when we turned out. They're just like, oh, we'll be showing off this. I was like, oh, okay then. But the clip's only about, a minute and a half long. But
while this is going, Callum, if you could please refresh the slides after or during our intermission, that would be amazing.
Sounds good to me. Can one of you add the intermission slide?
Oh yeah.
Fuck.
Kind of forgot about that here.
Yeah. But anyway, it was a pretty cool event. They had the Avengers, had the wings folding, had Bombay's doors. They were just showing it off. It was a pretty cool event. I'll just go on to the next slide if it will let me. I have never done this before. See, I mainly did this one for Dennis, but he's not here, is he?
Someone just had to get his 7th COVID shot.
I know, right? So, Dennis, I know you'll watch this because I'll make you.
Jesus Christ.
Boy does not have a choice on this one. So, one of the primary post-war users of the Avenger was the Royal Canadian Navy. They obtained 125 former US Navy Avengers from 1950 to 1952 to replace their Fairy Fireflies.
Huh.
By the time the Avengers were delivered, the RCN was shifting its primary focus to anti-submarine warfare, and the aircraft was rapidly becoming obsolete as an attack platform. Consequently, 98 of the RCN Avengers were fitted with an extensive number of novel ASW modifications, including radar, electronic countermeasures, and sonar buoys. And the upper ball turret was replaced with a sloping glass canopy, which better suited for observation duties.
Well, slow enough, you could definitely do that, no problem.
Oh, yeah. So these modified Avengers were designated as AS-3. A number of these aircraft were later fitted with a large magnetic anomaly detector, or MAD, which is a boom on the rear left side of the fuselage and redesignated AS-3M. However, RCN leaders soon realized the Avenger's shortcomings as an ASW aircraft, and in 1954 they elected to replace the AS-3 with the Grumman S-2 tracker, which offered longer range, greater load capacity, carrying capacity for electronics and armament, and a second engine, a great safety benefit when flying long-range patrols. So after the CS-2F trackers were brought in 1957, the Avengers were shifted to training duties and officially retired in 1960. Now, if you guys can see the photo on the right-hand side of the slide, can you see those strange-looking light things?
Yeah, what is that?
So, the Canadians did a bit of camouflage research using the Avenger. So the TBN Avengers were used in wartime research into counter-illumination camouflage. The torpedo bombers were fitted with what do they call them? Yehudi lights. Yehudi? Oh, for fuck's
Yehudi lights. What the fuck is that?
It's Yehudi. How the fuck do you pronounce that?
No idea.
Yehudi.
Oh, I am struggling today.
Houdini lights.
Yehudi lights. Yehudi.
Houdini lights.
The jihad lights.
So these were a set of forward-pointing lights automatically adjusted to match the brightness of the sky. The planes therefore appeared as bright as the sky rather than as dark shapes. The technology, a development of the Canadian Navy's diffused lighting camouflage research, allowed an Avenger to advance within 3,000 yards before being seen.
Huh.
That's
kind of cool.
Yeah. So it could get within 3,000 yards of you before you actually noticed there was an aircraft
scary.
there. That's pretty good. No, that thing just used speed.
Slap that on the
your Avro arrow is running to the ground, boy. You Canadian,
you can't see it anyways.
See, and this one was put in by Dennis himself because it's Japanese.
Of course.
Dennis, I want you to remember that these
Oh my
things
God,
absolutely
what the hell is
demolished the
that?
Yamato. So, yeah, just let that sink in.
It just doesn't look right having that big ass fat aircraft. Yeah, exactly. That's exactly what I was thinking. Like, look at it. It's like
Yes.
a pregnant
It's
bitch with a tramp
pregnant.
stab.
So I think that's what they actually called it. Was called the Guppy aircraft. That's what
It
they
looks
called
like
it.
a
I
guppy.
can see it.
Yeah.
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 So the Japanese Maritime Self-Defense Force operated hunter-killer Avenger groups in the 1950s to 60s. So basically, they were single seat with radar underneath it. That's what that pod is, and it just basically operated as hunter-killers.
Oh, that's radar. Huh.
Yeah,
That's
ugly as
interesting.
hell.
Yeah.
I thought that was like an extra fuel tank or something, bro. Not gonna lie.
Yeah.
That's
Yeah.
radar. What? I wonder how much cancer that pilot got from that.
Probably quite a bit.
Probably.
I know, I think Don has one of these for a model that he's going to make.
Well, he's active on the server right now. I ask him.
You ask him. I'm hosting.
And, you know, join Zencaster.
I'll be amazed if he actually jumped on.
Oh, imagine.
Serious question for you.
Another
Whilst you
one.
do that,
I can't. I'm at work. Fucking.
oh,
Who cares? Just say you're taking a call.
technically he would be.
It's a business call.
Yeah. Whilst he does that, there were a few other Avenger operators after the war. Of course, you had France, Brazil, Netherlands, Uruguay, Cuba, and Nicaragua.
Hey.
Almost went there.
Hey.
No.
Oh,
Bleep that.
Anyone else want to pronounce it? I am failing today, and I don't want to accidentally do something bad.
Ezra, you do it.
I
don't trust-
want me to say it.
I don't trust Greg. His marine ass.
Hey, I'm a goddamn civilian. Okay.
Oh boy, yeah, that country.
I mean,
Oh my God.
I could say it, but I don't think you guys would be happy with my pronunciation of it.
Don just said
just do
he's
it,
seeing
and
if he can.
I'll edit it if it's bad.
Let's get Don to
No,
say it.
go ahead.
Let's get Don on to say it.
Imagine he comes on and we tell him, "Hey, pronounce this country's name."
So, a lot of Avengers were used for civilian use as well.
That's
Primarily
awesome.
working-
Those look sick.
Yeah,
Yeah.
like the camo on the left is actually pretty cool.
That is neat.
Yeah.
What were they? Fire bombers?
So they were used as spray applicators and water bombers throughout North America, particularly in the Canadian province of New Brunswick.
Yep, makes sense.
Yeah. Forest Protection Limited of New Brunswick once owned and operated the largest civilian fleet of Avengers in the world. They began operating Avengers in 1958 after purchasing 12 surplus TBM-3Es from the Royal Canadian Navy. Use of the Avenger fleet peaked in 1971 when 43 aircraft were used as both water bombers and spray aircraft. The company sold 3 Avengers in 2004 to museums or private collectors, and the Central New Brunswick Woodsman Museum has a former FPL Avenger on static display. That would be cool to see.
I should go see it next time I head out east.
How close is that to you?
Oh, like more than a day.
Worth it.
Yeah.
An FPL Avenger that crashed in 1975 in southwestern New Brunswick was recovered and restored by a group of interested aviation enthusiasts and is currently on display at the Atlantic Canadian Aviation Museum.
Oh, where's that?
No idea.
Atlantic Canadian Aviation Museum.
It sounds
If it's
good,
in-
whatever it is.
Yeah, if it's in Nova Scotia, I swear to God, I'm going back next year.
So the FPL was still operating 3 Avengers in 2010 configured as water bombers. That's cool. They were still being used.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Water bombers are sick.
Yeah. However, one of these crashed just after takeoff on 23rd of April 2010, killing the pilot. The
Well, that's
last
because it was so damn heavy.
Yeah, the last
About to
FPL
say.
Avenger was retired. Jesus. The last one was retired 26th of July 2012 and
Oh,
sold to the Shearwater Aviation Museum in Dartmouth, Nova Scotia.
oh my God.
There was one of those there and you missed it.
God damn it.
How pathetic.
Yeah. And I've just got a couple of cool facts. Well, one of them's not cool, but the others are.
Oh, the George Bush one.
Oh yeah, did he almost get eaten by like cannibals?
I was just gonna say that. Yeah.
Yeah. Now, so in June 1943, shortly before his 19th birthday, future President George H.W. Bush was commissioned as the youngest naval aviator at the time. At 19, that's young. Later, while
No,
flying
not
a TBM with VT-51 from USS San Jahid, fuck off. I'm not going to pronounce that.
Fuck off.
I've had it up to here with these stupid fucking names.
Shahibi.
His Avenger was shot down on 2nd of September 1944 over the Pacific island of Chichijima. However, he released his payload and hit the radio tower target before being forced to bail out over water. Both his crewmates died. He was rescued at sea by the American submarine USS Finback. He later received the Distinguished Flying Cross.
Of course he did.
Yes.
Mm-hmm.
Another famous Avenger aviator was Paul Newman, who was a rear gunner. He hoped to be accepted for pilot training, but did not qualify because he was colorblind.
Fuck that guy.
That's annoying. Newman was on board the escort carrier USS Hollandia, roughly 500 miles from Japan when the Enola Gay dropped the first atomic bomb on Hiroshima.
Paul Newman,
Too
who's
bad he
all I
wasn't
can think
closer.
of is. Did he have something to do with like early SNL? That's
He was
like
an
all I
actor.
can think of.
Yeah, Paul Newman, the actor.
Yeah.
Comedian.
Oh, okay.
Yeah,
I was like,
that's him.
that sounded really familiar. Yeah.
Yeah. Right. As Ezra mentioned before, the Avenger was the type of torpedo bomber used during the sinking of the two Japanese super battleships, the Musashi and Yamato. Now, after the war, there was a big mystery on the 5th of December 1945 with a flight of 5 Avengers known as Flight 19, which later added to the Bermuda Triangle legend. This was a case of Flight 19 was a training flight that flew out from Florida and they disappeared completely.
Mm-hmm.
Thin air. They sent out.
I'd say that's a Bermuda Triangle, baby girl.
Yeah. If you want to know more about it, I would recommend an episode of the podcast Red Web. They cover that in one of their episodes of Flight 19. They do a full, extensive deep dive into it. It's actually a really good episode to listen to.
I might listen to that after this.
Also, during World War II, the U.S. Aeronautical Research Arm, NACA, used a complete Avenger in a comprehensive drag reduction study in their large Langley wind tunnel. The resulting NACA technical report shows the impressive results available if practical aircraft did not have to be practical. Basically,
What
Yeah.
the fuck?
And finally, last but not least, our favorite.
Man.
Models. Oh no, not the monogram.
Oh, you already know, baby.
So you know the one that I built, that I told you that I built years and years and years ago? Top right, that Academy one. That was the one I built.
That one?
Mm.
It's
How was
actually,
it?
It's a good kit. I even remember back then it was pretty good to build.
See, Academy is good, guys.
I
Oh
keep
my
telling
god,
them,
Ezra.
Academy 72nd aircraft are good to build. They're good for weekends, you know? Right, so hobby news. A&A models have got this 48th scale BF109Z-1, also known as the
I like
Llewellyn. That's
like
when Germans tried to join two BF-109s to create a sort of heavy fighter.
German engineering.
Yeah.
Were they following
I really
this?
want. Yep.
Were they following the same idea as like the P-51s that they smashed together, like the G or whatever?
That's
Yeah.
that's the it's like P-52 or something like that. Or
P-52.
No,
that's pretty
or
funny, actually.
Oh, something like yeah.
or P-87. Something they gave it. Funnily enough, that the twin Mustang shares no parts.
F-82.
Yeah, F-82. It shares no parts with the P-51. They just look
That's
similar.
funny.
Really?
Yeah,
Oh.
they're not. The parts are not interchangeable.
Oh.
Anyway,
Wait, they don't even share like the same engine?
I think they had slightly different engines because it's post-war.
Oh, that's cool.
I'm not sure. I'll need to look it up, but I'm pretty sure like most of the airframe can't be used. Like you can't switch. But yeah, the Germans tried it first with the Z variant of the BF-109. I really want one of these. I think they look cool.
Yeah. That
it does.
like plain prototype looking paint scheme is pretty neat as well.
Yeah.
The German NATO plane. Come on, tell me I'm wrong.
I noticed a disturbing lack of swastikas on the tail.
No. They got
I wonder why.
the black tape.
They've got
the black diamond.
something there. Disturbing lack of swastikas?
Oh
Okay,
dear.
Ezra.
Moving on. So Dragon are bringing 35th detail into 72nd. They are releasing a Panzer IV Aus F1F. This looks really cool actually. For 72nd, there's a lot of details in it.
Yeah.
I mean, it's got the barrel for it is slide molded.
Nice.
Yeah.
Very
Do we
good,
know what
very
the
good.
tracks are?
Probably
Are they like
individuals?
Most likely
Being
individual.
Dragon.
I mean, it's Dragon. Yeah.
Is that the actual box art on that thing?
I hope not, because that looks like
That's
fucking-
awful.
Yeah. They need to work on that one.
Yeah. Yeah.
Boy,
Yeah.
who's the cunt that did this fucking art, eh?
This
Where's that
greasy
fat-
looking tank.
Continuing with Dragon, they are also releasing a T-34-76 mod 1941 with the cast turret. So that's 72nd scale as well. 34, who cares? MMK, these are a bunch of resin kits bringing out variants of the BMP. So we have stuff like the
yes.
OT-90, BVP.
Yes.
They look cool.
Yeah,
the
Except they're all
OT-90
in
and
72.
M1. Yeah.
Look at that
These are-
ambulance. Holy shit.
Yeah, I think they look pretty cool.
I
these
want the LOS and the OT-90 in 35th.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, they look cool. So these are resin kits with photo etch parts as well. So
Really? Photo etch?
Yep.
Wow.
So this 72nd, you could probably make a lot of dioramas using these.
Yeah.
These would be pretty good for them.
Oh, absolutely.
I
This
found
is
this
cool.
one interesting.
This is
The
cool.
Whip 3D. It's I think it's all in French, so I'm not going to bother. But it just looks. I just put it on just because it looks really cool as a truck. I mean, having the chains and stuff looks.
Yeah.
That would make a very good Horizon Island vehicle.
I was actually thinking that.
Those
Yeah.
things, the engine is, I'm pretty sure, right beside the driver's seat there. That's the engine.
Yeah, you can see
Mounted
it right
up
about
high.
there.
Yeah.
That is. Imagine getting a hot leg. No.
What else? KP models
Ooh.
have a bunch of gliders. So
Ooh.
you've got two German ones, and actually I think they're all German. No,
Okay, but what
the
about
other
the
one's
Red
Japanese.
Americans? When did the Japs use a goddamn glider?
Not sure, but these are all. So these are the what do they call them? DFS Olympias or Yeah, these are small single-seat gliders in 72nd. I think
kind
they'd
of
make
want one.
Yeah,
Oh, I kind of want one.
yeah. Well, actually, they will look really cool if you're making, like, say, a BF-110 or something like that, and have that pulling it.
Yeah, you're right. Or even just like that crashed into the ground or something.
Yeah.
Oh, that'd be cool.
Some more KP models with a couple of Tiger Moths, the de Havilland DH-82. So they are releasing one in RAF, and the other is the Royal Australian Air Force.
Nice.
I like the one on the right. Yeah.
The
Tiger Moth.
RAF one.
Yeah.
Yeah. I'm going to go for that one as well, just because the other one's Australian, and I can't get ticked off.
I mean, I like the Australian spindle thing there, but the RAF one just, I don't know. I feel like it's missing. The Australian one is missing that red on the tail, and it just bothers me.
You know why that was?
Yeah.
Well, because they weren't fucking French.
No.
Why?
Because the RAF, the Royal Air Force, the New Zealand, and the Australian, and everyone else who had a red dot as a roundel,
Oh, that's right. Yeah, Marine
you
Corps
Americans
frigates.
kept trying to shoot them down because they just saw a red dot and thought it was Japanese.
Well,
they
Yeah, you
removed
told
it.
the story.
Yeah. That's
Yeah.
why. And we've got even more for KP
that's
models.
cool.
These are more 72nd. These are the Avenger BA-33, where they are bringing out two as Czechoslovakia, sorry, and another one that is, I think, Japanese. No, Russian.
Can't be Japanese.
How
Must
come
be
the
Russian then.
Japs-
It's just got a red dot as a red dot, so you know.
It's
Sue me.
generic.
Yeah.
You know what, Callum? I don't know.
But the Avia BA-33 is a pre-war biplane, and they actually look kind of cool. I kind of like them.
I like the vents on the side.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Looks like an
I
air
thought it was
Volkswagen.
I thought it was a
Sorry.
SPAD 13 at first.
It's got that sort of look to it, doesn't it?
Yeah, I'd
Mhm.
love to see a new tool SPAD 13 172nd.
Yeah. And KP they're releasing a lot of models. So they have 3 Spitfires, a Spitfire Mark
Ooh.
2A, and a Spitfire P, and two Spitfire PR Mark XI. That's a Mark 11. One in D-Day markings and the other in international markings.
Nice.
I like
PR
the,
It'd be
Spitfires
neat
are-
to see
are
it in
beautiful.
D-Day markings. Yeah.
I like the D-Day markings up there. The blue.
It'd be
with the
cool to see a
stripes.
model of that. It's
Yeah.
an odd color blue.
I really want to make, you know how they painted the Spitfires in that light pink for reconnaissance?
Mhm.
Yeah.
I'd love to do a pink Spitfire. I think they look cool.
Dennis should
Mhm.
get Paige on that.
What else have we got? Armor Q is bringing out some
Ooh.
Argentine artillery and armor, mainly a 155mm L33 model 1977 artillery piece.
It's for our old
Dude.
group build.
Yeah,
Does it come with figures?
not sure. And they also have a VCPC, which the minute I saw it, I just went Horizon Island. It looks
Yeah.
like Horizon Island.
Dude, this
Yeah,
is
it does.
both of these, yeah.
Yeah, I am Horizon Island tainted now.
Dude,
We
you
all
and me
are.
both.
Yeah.
Oh,
that's
Callum, did you refresh the slides?
yeah.
Okay, cool.
Don't
Nice.
refresh the slides.
Uh-oh. On the Micro Machines podcast, whenever someone says refresh the slides, it is always a crapshoot of if it's going to be good or not. Hence why the note of concern in my voice.
Don't worry, it's your old pal Greg.
We've got even more Dragon armor. These
Okay.
we have a new Jagdpanzer 4L70 with
That's
Zimrit.
new.
It's
Dragon
Yeah,
really
how do we
needs
know it-
better box art artists.
Yeah.
How do we need?
Like, what
how
the
do we
hell?
know it's new tooled?
because Scalemates told me.
Okay.
And they also seem to be releasing an SDKFZ 251/2 ALF-C. That is the Hanomag with the 6 rockets on the side of it.
Oh, it's in 35th. Okay.
Yeah,
That's
Yeah.
nice.
yeah, it looks kind of nice.
So they called that Hanomag the Ground Stuka. Those
Yeah.
rockets were literally held in wooden boxes that were made in the field. And
It's
they,
kind of like the Katusha.
yeah, so they fired off randomly, and it was I've read reports of infantry inside the Hanomag breathing a lot easier when they don't have high explosives strapped to the outside in wooden frames. Funnily enough, yeah. What else have we got? AZ models with a 72nd Japanese aircraft. The Yokosuka.
That's a cool camo scheme.
Pardon?
That's a cool paint scheme.
Yeah. So so they're bringing out a Yokosuka D4Y3, also known as the Judy. So it looks like an elongated Zero.
Somebody send that to Dennis right now.
You know he will buy and build it.
Oh yeah, he'll order 4.
Yeah.
He's like, what?
As long as he paints it in this orange scheme, it looks cool.
Yeah, he won't. He'll make a Canadian.
Trumpeter showing CAD renderings of an M1132 Striker engineer squad vehicle with the LWMR mine roller and SOB on it. So it's basically a Striker with a plow with a bulldozer blade on the front. That actually looks really cool.
Yeah,
I
that's
like
neat.
it.
Some Afghanistan shit right there.
Yep.
HIDF plowing the fields.
And 35th, I think this is 35th.
Oh, that is cool.
Trumpeter
that
are
is
releasing the 9P149 launching
oh my
vehicle.
god, it's about time.
Yeah. So these things look amazing.
When has anyone else made a kit of this? Like, not with the launcher, just the
No, I
regular
don't think
troop
so.
carrier.
I'm
Dude.
not aware of one.
I found these on Arma like 5 months ago, and I love them. They are so cool.
Yeah, because this is another series based off the PC-76 chassis, isn't it?
Some shit like some wonky ass shit.
Yeah. But yeah,
I just know it's cool.
yeah. I mean, I'm not big on like Cold War, anything beyond Vietnam. I'm not into, but I could get into this.
Oh, it's freaking awesome, bro. You kidding me?
Look at the camo scheme. It looks like wagon wheels.
Oh,
Yeah.
yeah.
Trumpeter are following Tamiya with they are bringing out a 32nd scale F-35A. This is just the box art for it.
Fucking
That's-
idiots.
It's pretty cool box art.
I like the box art.
Yeah.
Yeah.
No.
Dragon, take notes.
No.
I would have loved to see Dennis's reaction on this one. Just because it's Trumpeter and going up against Tamiya on the F-35A.
It's just like, why though? Like, why?
Bandwagon.
That's a good
why.
point.
Yeah,
Yeah,
that's true,
but-
yeah, bandwagon.
Yeah. But it's like, it's the latest fighter aircraft, but it's not an interesting looking aircraft.
No.
I'll
Yeah,
be
it's just
honest.
gray.
I don't like the fucking 35. It's just fucking ugh.
Yeah.
It's better than the A10.
No, I mean, in
Yeah.
reality, yes, but
It's
look-wise,
not
no.
hard to be better than the A10.
This
Yeah.
is true.
What else have we got? Yes. I guess we're legally we have to show this part.
Oh.
It is the Andes Hobby Headquarters new 1/16th Tiger 1 Hurley. And
Ezra's about to go broke.
Ezra, read the message at the bottom.
I can read that. Oh.
Go and do it. So this
Okay, to
this
be
one's
fair,
been
Yeah.
done as the Michael Whitman Command Tiger, which is why Ezra is now making those noises.
That is
Michael
a very
Whitman
good.
famously did nothing wrong ever.
Except have his
That's-
brains blown out by a 17-pounder.
his brain's blown out. Bro.
Oh no, his
Homie
entire
blew out
body was
himself.
blown out.
Oh, I'm sure you like that, Ezra.
Why are you the way that you are?
Hey, that was Jack saying that, not me.
This is TACOM, right?
Yeah, so all of
Good marketing
Andy's stuff is
strategy.
all TACOM stuff.
Yeah, this is genius. Making a Michael fucking Whitman Tiger 1. This is genius.
Yeah.
They're gonna sell so many of these.
Yeah,
Oh,
I think they were already sold out or something like that. But
Yeah, probably.
yeah, I mean, you can guarantee it would actually be a really good kit to build. It's just,
Oh yeah, 100%.
it's a Tiger 1. Like, they could have been more adventurous.
No, I mean, okay, you can say that, but it's Andy's Hobbies headquarters' second model kit. It goes
Yeah,
right
he did a
with,
Sherman, then a Tiger. Of course,
Yeah.
he's gonna do the.
That's weird, though,
Yeah.
because the numbering is 003 on the box.
Did he do anything else?
Didn't he work
Is it
with the
maybe the
stub?
figure set? The figure set.
Oh,
don't know.
yeah.
No, wasn't it a Jeep? Willie's Jeep?
Oh yeah, the
Did he
Jeep.
do a
yeah.
Jeep?
Yeah.
Oh,
Yeah,
okay.
with TACOM.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think that's part of the Andy's Hobby Headquarters range, isn't it? Is it? I don't know. I need to look
Probably.
that up.
Sure.
Is it 1/16?
Yes.
Yeah.
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 Okay.
There's a 1/16th, Easy 8, Willie's Jeep, and now this that's been released.
Mm-hmm.
Right.
16
okay.
scale is kicking off, eh?
Yeah.
Well, just because of him, pretty
Unfortunately.
much.
Yeah.
I will say, if I buy this kit, I will not build the. I will not build Whitman's Tiger.
You will.
I will
Okay,
I will build
Ezra.
that Tiger that got shot like 200 times.
Ezra.
Just to
Because
take
imagine
your
how-
rage out.
You tend to get kits that are meant for something and build them otherwise, like
Yes.
the Stug we gave you.
Yeah.
So does Dennis, though, to be fair.
Stug. Okay, granted, we all do, but it's fun to pick on Ezra
Yeah.
for doing it.
But finished Stugs are boring, and they're covered in
No.
swastikas, and
Shut-
swastikas are bad.
It's historical accuracy.
Don't argue that, actually, Greg. He's got you there.
Well,
I mean, yes.
Well,
Stug,
I mean- it all comes from, like intent. I think everyone gives Finland a pass on their swastikas because like that was what they used before.
Yeah, and
all of that.
Who are
Yeah.
they? Didn't know
but they had
what was going
half
on.
they didn't have the full swastika though, right?
Yeah, they did.
Yeah.
Oh,
Yeah, they
oh,
did.
That was their insignia for everything.
Yeah.
I think it was later in the war they changed it to the blue and white roundel.
They're like, hey, get
Yeah.
this shit off of this.
I mean, didn't Indians use swastikas a lot as well?
It means peace.
Yeah, I almost said Redskins, but I
Oh my
censored
God.
myself.
You know what else means peace? Apparently the Confederate flag.
Oh, boy.
It's peace under those certain terms and conditions.
Yes.
They stay on the reservations and there'll be peace.
Oh dear. It's funny, like Finland in the war, they're this weird sort of like they're against the Soviets, which are allied, using allied planes and equipment and stuff like that, but fighting for the Germans, but no one wants them to actually lose. Like they're like on Germany's side, but not fighting for Germany. Like
Yeah.
if they'd just
They're
been
just
left alone,
fighting
they
for
wouldn't have.
themselves, pretty much.
Yeah, they.
The
Like,
enemy of my enemy is my friend.
Yeah, I just feel
Yeah,
sorry
that's
for when they were using
Finnish
the.
doctrine.
Yeah, I just felt sorry for them if they were using the. I think it was what was the BT they converted? The BT-42.
Yeah,
The
BT-42.
Yeah, because when you think about that, that's a Soviet tank with a German-made turret with a British gun in it.
Yeah.
It's like what happens
It's
if
so
something breaks?
cursed.
Yeah, it is the ultimate cursed tank.
Oh God! What's that Abrams in finished builds?
Wait,
What?
oh, you just saw the Hello Kitty one, didn't you?
No. There's an
The Hello
Abrams with
Kitty
like
one's sick.
Oh, it has
spoked
like a dick
wheels.
ring?
Oh,
Yeah,
that
it has
thing.
a dick ring and
Oh yeah.
What is that?
The JDM Abrams.
Oh dear.
oh my God, that's disgusting. Cursed.
That thing is cool.
Props to whoever built it though.
That's fucking yeah. No, it's sick.
Uh,
I love how it looks like there's like a big blood stain on the front.
oh dear.
Oh, we got the
Anyway,
whips.
so I'm going to stop talking for a bit, and I'm going to let you cunts talk with your works in progress. And Greg, you're up. But don't
All
try
right.
not to wake up Will.
Yeah. Okay, so I've got 3 slides, mainly because Model Machine no longer broke. I am officially out of California. I'm out of the military, and I'm in home state now, Kansas.
Is that a
good
fucking
old-
katana?
It is, yeah. I'm getting to that, Jack. Calm yourself.
Okay. I had to intervene. Go
Yes.
ahead.
So believe it or not, there's not very many hobby stores or like our hobby stores in San Diego and Los Angeles within a decent driving distance. It was like an hour and almost 30 minutes to get one way. So I never went. And now that I'm here in Wichita, it's literally a 9-minute drive. It's because it's in the center of the city, and they have this huge highway running through the entire city. So you can get anywhere like 9-10 minutes. And I went and I bought some kits. So I got the Archer, the Tamiya Archer. Got the Tamiya M1 51A2 tow Jeep. That's going to be for a Horizon Island build I'll talk about later. Then I got the Tamiya 222 with
Nice.
a aluminum barrel and photo etch. I'm working on that one right now, and we'll get to that in
beautiful.
the next slide. Oh, thank you. Then bottom left is where I'm currently recording at. Nice big tree and a little camper because working on getting a house. And then right hand side is the Hobby Town Wichita where I do my modeling and shopping. And then the center is a Japanese officer sword picked up from, I think it was Saipan.
That's
it was
crazy.
somewhere in the Pacific. Yeah, if you guys want to know the story, I can tell it to you real quick of how they got it.
Go
for it.
All right, so my grandfather's friend from college, he was a Marine. He was a BAR gunner in the Pacific. And they went on a patrol, and the one time, I think this was before he got his BAR, he was carrying an M1 Grand, and he was point man on patrol. And this Jap came out of nowhere with a sword and swung at him from like top down. And he put his rifle up to block it, and it knocked the rifle out of his hand and the sword out of the Japanese's hand. And it knocked the Marine to his knees. The force did. And the Jap went to get his sidearm, and the guy grabbed his K-bar from his boot and swung it up and sliced the dude's throat. He said he stopped counting people about 30-something people in. He stopped counting how many people he killed, but he said that was the only kill that ever bothered him, seeing the look of surprise on that dude's face. So once Homeboy finally bled out, they left, and on their way back, he picked up the sword, and they picked up some other stuff.
Wow.
So
Wow.
it's going to go up on my wall along with my Mosin Nagant and Soviet helmet from World War II and AT-4.
That's crazy.
Yes. The next slide, please. Okay. Thank you very much. So, top left-hand picture is the Wichita, Kansas Aviation Museum. It doesn't look like much from the outside besides a big, pretty building, but there's quite a lot on the inside. So if you want to see some of the pictures from that, including the aircraft, I'll have a video up on my YouTube channel at some point. And then my first time experiencing fall, like leaves actually changing colors. So we got here, and everything was still
is it
green.
actually?
Yeah,
Oh.
like that's not photo
Great.
edited. That's like actually yellow trees.
Cool.
Because in Texas it just dies. Goes from green
I
to
gotta
dead.
send you some pictures.
Please do, because fall, I've always loved the different fall colors, and now that we're here in Kansas, everything was green when we first got here. There was a couple red trees, but like the other day I drove to storage, like 90% of the trees were green, and then the next day after, I'm not kidding you, like 2/3 of them were either orange, yellow, or red. Like they transferred overnight. It was insane. And then top right is the Hobbytown Wichita setup where I do my modeling and display dioramas. And then the bottom half is the 222 diorama layout. It's going to be relatively small compared to what I'm used to, but basically it's going to be South Russia, 24th Panzer Division, 1942, about August time frame before Stalingrad really kicked off. Basically, it's going to be a wooden fence that you see there on the bottom right. It's going to be going across the diorama. Half of it's going to be down as if the 222 ran it over, and then the 222 is going to be sitting behind a bush, giving some suppressing fire for the Germans running over the gate and around the 222 to flank some position or some shit.
That's a good idea.
Thank you. The next slide, please.
Ooh.
Okay. Excuse me. So, this was a last minute. I say last minute. I've been wanting to do this for a little while. I'm finally making a big Horizon Island diorama, and so I got the tow Jeep, which is, like we saw earlier on the stream, exactly like the one in Arma. And then I've been trying to pick up the M114 with full interior from TACOM for a couple days now. So I found one on eBay that can get here mid-November. And then those are all the figures I got for it. So 2 extra crewmen,
Nice.
a bunch of infantry and crewmen, Jeep drivers, a guy with a flag, and then a guy with a camera. It's going to be a T intersection. That 114 is going to be on the grass, opposite side of the intersection. A bunch of those dudes hanging out. There's going to be, remember that TACOM German bus I have? A little, like, short bus or whatever?
Yep.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, I'm going to
Yeah,
make
the,
that
Volkswagen.
complete. Yeah, I'm going to make that, like, completely destroyed. Like, it got blown up or something. I know. I wanted to do something else. I want to do a Ukraine build with it, but I don't know. Maybe I'll find something else. But I want some
Send it
vehicle
to
on
me,
the left-hand
please.
side. No. I want some vehicle on the left-hand side of that T intersection to be, like, destroyed so the road's blocked. So it's like a roadblock in redirectory, right? Like a detour sign. That guy's there flagging on the tow Jeep to go to the right instead of the left, and they got a bunch of infantry there just kind of guarding it. But I know it's kind of hard to envision now. I'm just talking about it, but it's going to be pretty sweet.
Oh, yeah. I'm sure you've got a whole, like, plan for it, and we'll be seeing some whips of this soon.
Oh, absolutely. Yeah. And I'm going to take my time and try to do homemade palm trees this time. So,
ooh.
Yeah, we'll see how that goes.
Nice.
Sweet. Can't wait to see it all.
Thanks,
I like
fellas.
the Israeli tankers.
Oh, I'm surprised you found out that they were Israelis. That's nice. I got a. It's kind of funny. I've got American Vietnam Jeep drivers, American Vietnam photographer. I've got New Zealand infantry and crewmen on the bottom right. I got Israeli Defense Force, the middle, then that Russian guy with the flag.
Nice.
HIDF, baby.
Multicultural.
Absolutely.
Nice. Right. Who was up next? Oh, yeah, me.
Oh, it's you.
So, this is for the Battle of the Bulge group build. I'm building a Sturmpanzer for the Brumba. So, this is the early Tamiya kit. So, it's the early version of the Brumba. So, I've managed to finally get it all built up the other week. Decided with the Schützen, the side skirts, I cut them all up into the individual panels and kind of jumbled them up a bit. Like, I had the left ones and the right-hand side ones separated. But within those, I jumbled them all up and then put them on randomly. Just so you can see here how they don't really fit together properly. And, there's a bit of, just try and make it look like they're just trying to cover up weak points with random bits they were using. And give it a bit more, like variety. And ultimately, I'm going to get the Dremel out and do some battle damage to them. Try and thin them out so I can bend them and stuff like that.
That's going to be neat.
Right on.
Yeah, so I'm going to try and do this one, ambush, camouflage, and then whitewash.
Ooh, yes.
Nice.
The whitewash.
How heavy are you going on the whitewash?
Not Not sure. Haven't decided yet. Usually I decide that when I'm doing it.
Fair enough. Yeah.
And then, like, there's going to be snow and slush on it, and then it's probably going to have a light layer of snow as if it's been sitting overnight in a town or something.
Dude,
Nice.
I cannot wait to see that. I love ambush camo and I love fucking whitewash.
Yeah, it's gonna look awesome.
Yeah, so I can't wait. But at the moment, I'm working on the secret project, my first ever commission build. So, yeah, that one
I know
you guys
what
know
it
about. And,
is.
Oh yeah.
yeah, you guys have seen me building it up. Yeah, that one is that's a new experience for me. When I've finished it and given it back, presented it, then I'll show everyone what I've been working on. Well, all you listeners, everyone in the podcast has seen it.
Sounds
But-
good.
Yeah,
Right on, man. That's great.
Oh, there's my
Oh,
steward.
that looks so good.
Look at that
Yeah,
little guy.
thanks. I don't know about the image quality there, but
So
yeah.
cute.
So I've been building up my steward again now that I've got my turpits done. Started focusing on this. So I did all like the normal weathering on the tank and everything, and this is all pretty much after I matched the foliage with the foliage like around on the diorama, because that's pretty important just to get it all looking like it's from the same place. Yeah, it's a lot of like it's kind of an interesting experience blending between like a tank and a diorama just to make it look like it belongs there. I don't know, it's fun. But yeah, thoughts?
I think it looks awesome.
Beautiful,
Yeah, it
man.
does.
I'm liking
Yeah,
it so
thank you.
far.
There's I was originally gonna bring it to Great Hobbies when I was done with it, just put it in the display case, but there's actually a museum in my town that just opened up like a week ago, and it has some dioramas in there, but they're pretty shit. And I talked to the one of the guys about it, like the employees at the museum. It's just at the local armory. They just got it started. I talked to one of the guys there this weekend, and they said that they'd be willing to take it, especially since this is from the 4th Armored Division.
Dude, that's
So
Nice. Congrats.
It fits their criteria, like just by some luck. It just is what they are willing to display. So, yeah.
Are they
Might-
gonna pay you or
In exposure.
make them?
We'll see.
You got to
We'll
put
see.
a MMP thing right there.
Oh, I'm definitely plugging like my Instagram and all that.
Good.
Yeah, I got the MMP card and then the Instagram card. I'll get Dennis to print me out some cards. I haven't asked him yet, so this can be me asking him when he is forced to listen to this episode.
After you've already given it.
Yeah.
Well, I think it's looking pretty
yeah.
awesome.
Yeah,
Yeah,
dude.
thank you.
And you're only adding that one figure, right? You said.
Yeah, just the one. Because it's like a pretty crowded scene, not gonna lie.
Yeah.
Like
fair.
not too crowded, but I don't think I could do more than one figure.
Yeah.
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 I haven't done too much figure painting, so this will be interesting.
How are you gonna do the flush? You think?
I'm just trying my best to find Vallejo flesh tones that are in stock. Whenever I go, there's like flat flesh is always out of stock. I don't know. We'll figure it out. I'm gonna try to do like the night shift glazing method,
Okay.
just in many coats. I don't know.
Yep.
How do you usually
on it.
do your figures?
I hate doing flush, so I get Tamiya flat flush and the airbrush, and I airbrush.
spray it.
Yeah, so I'll prime everything black, then I'll airbrush the flat flush on the, where the flush goes, and then I'll paint the figure up, and then once the figure's painted, I'll add the fucking
Your other tones?
yeah, like I'll do like an oil wash or a Reichland flush shade, or if they need like face paint or whatever, I'll put that on first. But I might do one coat of flat flesh or something in case it was a little too thin. But I never, I have stopped face painting, if that makes sense. I cannot fucking stand it.
Yeah, I might just do that as well because
It's worth it because you can get a lot of
Yeah.
figures done doing that.
Mm-hmm.
Because for me, the hardest part was figure painting, the flesh.
yeah, that makes sense.
But however you do it, I'm sure it's gonna be fucking titties.
Hopefully. Yeah, I hope. What have we got next?
That's it.
Okay.
Right on.
How are we doing for time, you guys?
I don't know. We've stopped the recording how many times now?
I should probably hop off fairly soon.
Yeah, same. It's 11:30 here.
Okay, so on the screen you can see our advert for the Battle of the Bulge group build. So that started on the 1st of September and it's running till 25th of January 2023, which was the length of time that the actual Battle of the Bulge went on for. So we are doing a group build for it. Any scales, project style, anything like that, as long as it pertains to the campaign. So you can do Axis, like I am. You can do Allies. You can do aircraft, as long as you can prove it that it was there. So that one's going to be the hard one. But artillery, infantry, armor, anything like that, you let us know. You can contact us in multiple ways: Instagram, Facebook, Twitter, email us, join our Discord. There's a lot of ways. We'll link all our socials in the video. But basically, if you want to join, you can just join the group build as is, or you can join the competition. We'll be judging all entries, and we have a first, second, and third prize. First prize being a 35th scale Hobby Boss T26E4 Pershing Pilot. So that will go to first place, plus some custom MMP decals. Second place, we'll be getting some 3D printed stuff and a decal sheet. And third place, we'll just be getting a decal sheet. Notable, we do have James Skiffin from Just Making Conversation podcast. He has joined us. And we have got... How many people in the group build, you reckon, you guys?
Oh, God.
I don't
That's
know.
a good question.
No idea.
Dude,
I'd say at least... There's quite a few, eh? I know we've got quite a few. We've kind of lost count.
If I had a guess, I would say probably about 11. That's
Yeah,
on the
11?
low side. That's on the low
I
side.
was gonna say 15.
Yeah,
like
somewhere
11.
around there. So, you can join it. Let us know whenever you let us know. And also, we have our Patreon up. That is just Patreon/Micro Machines podcast. We have one video up there, which is an extra. So that's a 3-tiered system. For $1, you get an extra episode, usually ones that we record and have problems with. So, sort of, you get an extra one.
You get our garbage.
Yeah. Level 2, that's $2 a month. That helps us support our fuzzy little podcast member Pinju, the red panda in Nepal. And third tier, which is $3 a month, that gets you everything and anything we post. Behind the scenes stuff, bloopers, a lot of stuff that we can't release to YouTube. There's quite a bit of that.
Like
actually.
a lot of this episode.
Yeah, there's a lot of jokes and stuff that can't go to YouTube, but are still funny if you're that way inclined. So that's all content that will be on tier 3. So yeah, it's only $1, $2, or $3 a month. It's not much, so give us a bit of support.
I've got a question actually.
Go for it.
Not related to the Patreon, but to the group build. Are we going to be making an episode judging?
Ooh.
I think we'll release an episode showing showcasing them all, like showcasing
Showcasing them
all.
all?
So all submissions, but then at the end we'll have whoever won first, second, and third.
All right, yeah.
Yeah.
And we could just do it. Could be like a 30 or 40-minute special, just going over a bunch of builds.
Yeah. And
That could be
That'd
going
be
through
nice.
going through our notes of like why we chose this one to win, why this one got this, or whatever. Just going through and like we'll have the
we
results anyway, but it will just be a sort of judging, us verbally commenting on how well they did, what we liked, and all that. Because we're going to be judging it purely on. So it's not like IPMS where it's like, oh, this is overweathered or something like that.
Yeah.
We're judging it on what you put into it. So like if you try an effect and we can see you're getting creative with it, and you kind of pull it off, you'll get points for that sort of thing.
We should
Yeah,
also
Don't
with
do.
like some. Oh, sorry, you go.
I'm sorry. Just gonna say real quick. Historical accuracy. You don't. That's definitely gonna give. That's kind of what we're looking for. Also, I know I've had a couple people ask me, "Well, can I use like this vehicle that wasn't there?" But like for instance, a guy on Facebook, he said he didn't know if the Panther A was at the Battle of Bulge, but he wanted to throw it in anyways. Like that's totally fine. But if you're trying to go for competition, just know that historical accuracy for the competition is going to be a big part.
Yeah. So there's sort of two tiers to the group build. There's the competition, and there's just the friendly submission. If you want either or, just let us know. Again, in the socials.
Yeah. With submissions, we should have them include like a statement about it, like going over what they tried and all that, like just kind of like an artist statement.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure we have that on the submission
Do we?
form.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So
Okay, that's good. That's good.
So we do have submission forms and stuff like that all set up. So which will come as we'll send to everyone who joins the group build. We have one rule that no one in the MMP podcast can enter the competition and win, or enter at all. We're keeping the competition solely for people who join.
Yeah, just so you're aware, I'm gonna know your address when you win first place, so just beware. I want that goddamn fucking Pershing.
Yeah, Greg may or may not send it to you. We don't know.
Check your mailbox.
Don't check your mailbox.
But otherwise, is there anything else you guys wanted to talk about? Any notes? Anything like that?
Add a slide at the end of this, please, with all the HIDF fucking stuff that you guys have done.
Yep. So, for those who want to join, it's not a group build as such; it's more of a model world. Is that what we'll call it?
It's our universe.
Yeah, we have a model universe that we're creating.
Our cinematic universe.
Yeah, so it's a Horizon Island Defense Force. It's basically if you want to like break the norm, if you got a shelf queen that's sitting there that you're not sure what to do, or if you want to just do something a bit different than following, doing this certain vehicle from this division and all of that. If you want to just go a bit nuts and break the mold, basically, we have the Horizon Island. We've got an episode up of Greg and Dennis discussing it.
Highly recommend.
Yep, I recommend watching it. It's pretty good. And also, if you got any questions about it or anything like that, just flick us or any of us a message. We'll happily reply to you.
We are definitely high on HIDF.
We are.
Oh yeah.
And it's also to emphasize on it, if you make a fucking Hello Kitty Hellcat and say this is a HIDF anti-naval gun on an island, and no one's gonna shit on you because
even though we all know it's JDM.
But yeah, so if you want to try something a bit different, let us know. Let us know your ideas. We're all doing some really interesting stuff. Myself, I'm going to be converting an M113 into a flamethrower tank. I'm just waiting.
Man.
I'm just waiting on sheets of styrene to become available.
I
Oh,
cannot
yeah.
wait for that.
Yeah,
I've got a Volkswagen Beetle that I'm gonna be putting a 50 cal on.
that's going to be awesome.
Yeah.
Dennis has got an M114 up. He's made an M114 and a T55 that look awesome. Greg's got his T72,
T62.
T62, and Don has got, what was it? He
Oh,
made
yeah,
an
Don.
M60. He made a rusty M60. Was it an M60?
I think
Yeah.
so.
Yeah,
Yeah,
it was.
yeah.
And he is currently working on a Gaz. It's a Gaz, isn't it? It's not a Jeep, it's
Yeah.
Gaz. Yeah, it's working
Yeah,
on
it's
a
a gas.
an M60 and an M1919 and with a tiger stripe pattern. It all looks fucking amazing. It looks really cool.
Yeah,
But-
that is one thing. It's I'll say this: anything like, especially Cold War era, you're in beforehand, you're definitely gonna. It's like the best stuff to use.
Yeah.
But at the same time, it's whatever you want.
Like if you've got a Sherman that you want to convert, that'll be awesome. You know.
Yeah, even that Beetle, it's a very it's a global car. They
Yeah.
produced a lot of those. Yeah.
But otherwise, if we don't have anything else anyone wants to talk about,
I
Neil.
think that's it.
Well then, you have been listening to the Micro Machines podcast, and if you have listened up to this point, we thank you. Really, we're kind of amazed you get to
Yeah.
this point.
Yeah, what the hell? How'd you do it?
Yeah, don't know how you did it, but congratulations if you did. Next week, next week or next episode, whenever we manage to record it, our recording schedules are been a little bit weird lately just because of life stuff. But next episode, I'm not sure if everyone knows this, but Floki from Floki's Models will be joining us, where we'll
Wait,
be
really?
talking about the
Oh.
SDKFZ251 Hanomag.
Oh,
So-
that's exciting.
Yeah, so Floki's going to be joining us next episode. But until then, I hope all you listeners and viewers have a very good time and keep modeling.
Wait. I have a question
What?
regarding Horizon Island.
Yes?
So,
Okay.
say one was to build a Gaz Jeep. Could
Uh-huh.
I feasibly put an 88mm flak 37 on the back of it and
If
paint
you
it
can.
out?
If you
I mean,
can,
yes.
I'll be impressed.
Yes.
Yeah.
Oh,
Yes, do it.
Okay. Challenge accepted.
Okay, then. Well, then. Thank you for listening.
Well then.
And goodbye.
Bye.
Bye, guys.
Bam, 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 bam.